Hello everyone, welcome back to another interesting episode of CHAKDE Frontend Interviews. And today we have a guest from US basically, and he is actually pursuing the internship and doing the MS basically. We have Anurag. We are going to talk about very interesting questions on JavaScript. There are many things that we are going to touch upon problem solving, the things that we are going to touch upon the core of the JavaScript, and there are many in-depth things we are going to touch on the JavaScript side. So keep watching this episode till the end. Main point, remember, try to pause the video and try to solve yourself. That is going to benefit you. So without wasting further time, let me quickly introduce Anurag. Hey Anurag, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, hi Chirag. How are you doing? I'm great.
Awesome. Why don't you introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Anurag. I've done my bachelor's and completed it in 2022. Then I came to master's in US. I'm pursuing master's in computer science at Indiana University Bloomington. I completed 1 year. Currently, it's a summer break, and I'm also doing a software engineering internship. Um Glad to meet Chirag and uh, what else I can have. I'm getting interviewed by the mastermind, and I think this gives me a good prep for my upcoming full time placements. Right?
Awesome. So I hope you are excited about the kind of a question and the kind of experience that you are going to have.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see how well I can do it.
Awesome. Best wishes. Let's do it. Let's share your screen. I have a first problem statement ready for you. Cool, let's do it. So I have some set of code which is written on the screen. I want you to help
Mhm.
me understand what this function basically does. So what this code is basically is meant to do. So there are
All right.
set of questions that I'm going to ask and a set of improvement probably that we are going to do on top of it.
Okay.
Maybe you can reduce the outcome panel and then
Right.
yes.
Okay. What does this function exclude items do? Right. Okay, let's go from top to bottom. If you see, you have items array, and each of them is an object having different properties, and I can see each object having the same set of properties. Okay, and exclude array made of key value pair. Okay, k color, v silver, k type, and vtv. Okay, I can see that k is a key and v is a. Okay, so I think we are gonna exclude uh, all the colors which have which have silver color, and all the types which have uh, tv as the value.
Mhm.
So for each item dot filter item pair dot k equal to uh, pair dot v.
तो मैं आपसे कुछ मांग सकता हूँ सचमुच में। अब मैं मांगूंगा और आप मानेंगे नहीं तो मानेंगे, लेकिन अगर करेंगे नहीं तो पक्का करेंगे।
Okay, so I think it is not excluding silver and tv. I think it is just bringing only the values with silver and tv.
Mhm.
That is what I'm understanding. So for each pair, so you will go through each and uh, okay, each and every pair in excludes, and you see that color. And for each items, you pick pair dot k equal to pair dot v. So we pick I think silver, right? So yeah, this item, and we have TV here. And this item is what I'm thinking. Okay, let me try run it again.
Mhm.
Items dot filter item pair dot k equal to fine. Okay, first we filter by silver, uh, and then we are filtering by the next pair, that is TV.
Mhm.
I think we don't get any items out of it. I think the return will be empty.
Okay. So is that the
Okay, let me write the steps.
sounds good.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So the iteration will be the first pair, which is this one,
Mm-hmm.
and so out of all the items,
Yeah.
we are checking pair dot k. That means pay dot k is color. Item color is equal to pay dot p. So item color is equal to silver.
Mm-hmm.
So there is only one item, that is this one. Okay. So that means you don't have. these now. Okay. And now in the next iteration, we are doing this. You come to a different key value,
Mm-hmm.
and now the items is this one,
Mm-hmm.
and we see type is TV. You don't have any objects with type TV.
Yeah.
You just get an empty array. Is what I'm expecting.
Is it doing the right thing? So because the function is supposed to exclude the filters that you
Yeah.
are giving, right? So
Right. Right.
is it working as expected?
Uh, Not really. So if we want to exclude the ones which are not silver and which are not TV,
Mm-hmm.
ideally you should be getting this blue book thing,
The
right?
last one. Awesome. Now
Yeah.
you have to fix it.
Yes. Okay. Let's fix this. Okay. We don't want one which are not equal to. Okay. We just maybe do a not equal to here, and let's see what happens. Okay, color silver. So this color is silver, so this object will not be getting. We'll get only these two objects.
Mm-hmm.
If I write it here, and in the next iteration, type not is equal to TV. So
Mm-hmm.
type not equal to TV. Only this one has it. So you will get only this one. So you'll get ideally you'll get the required output is what I'm expecting.
Okay. So can you help me with the complexity over here?
Right. Okay. So you are, let's say, exclude array. I mean, whatever the key value page you are giving here, let's say it is like big of keys, where keys meaning the length of this exclude array. And for each pair, you are doing items dot filter, which is basically iterating the entire array. So
Mm-hmm.
that will be length of items. So overall time complexity will be uh, big of length of excludes uh, exclude, right, and into length of items. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the complexity that we have. Can we improve it?
Hmm. Right. Can we improve it? Let us see. Hmm. We don't want uh, keys of, okay. Yeah, we can improve it to big of items is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Uh, what we'll do is we'll iterate on the items, but we have to see different properties, right? Okay, then if we have to see different properties. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, so if we have to go to this object, we need to see each individual property is our filter property or not. For example, exclude is filtering by color. It is
Mhm.
also filtering by type, right?
Okay.
So we need to see. Okay, maybe I think we can do this. We can say const excludes, and we can give it an object, and let's say color is silver and type is TV. And now we'll iterate on this items array,
Mhm.
and we'll see uh, whether color and this exclude color uh, are different or not. If they are different, I can include it. If they are same, I can just remove it. So in that way, we'll go through all the items once. That's it. So that will be big of items.
Does that cover all the scenarios, or there will be challenges with the solution that you propose? So consider example you have a Amazon and there are some filters, multiple filters that we can apply, right? This could happen. Like if you have to, you see the use case of this Amazon filters is one of the use case, right? So you have a lot of
Hmm.
product with lot of properties, and you have filters, multiple filters that has to be applied. Now think of a scenario in which your solution will fail.
Hmm. Okay, so then this could be some kind of set of values,
Mm-hmm.
like let's say silver, and let's also say blue,
Mm-hmm.
and we just see whether this color red
Mm-hmm.
uh, is included in this set or not. If it is not included, then we just keep it. If it is included, we just ignore it. And checking in set is big O one, right?
Okay. So why did you choose set over here?
Yeah. So the because if I choose, as you said, you can have multiple filters.
Yeah.
If you choose an array here,
Mm-hmm.
we want to check whether this red is in this array or not.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we'll be iterating on this array. Again, that increases the complexity, right? So
Okay.
in order to check whether this red is not there in this one or not, we
Mm-hmm.
need to be efficient. Like it should be like quick, like O1, right? So then that seems it's a good idea here, or a map, or whatever. But we don't have any key value paste, so set seems an ideal one, and we don't get any duplicate values as well. Let's say someone is passing silver double times,
Mm-hmm.
set contains a sorted nature and it has only unique elements. So
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
yeah.
now I want to make it more interesting. So consider
Mm,
example, you applied multiple filters. You applied, say, suppose color, right?
mm,
Then you applied maybe type. Then you applied different kind of properties that you are applying. Different
mm,
categories you are applying. I want
mm,
a way where users should be able to revert on the things that it performed on. So you're getting my point. So line number 10 is exclude. Line number 11 is exclude on type. So 11, line number 12 maybe exclude on something else. So in
mm,
this case, probably what you are doing, you are using an object. So
mm,
objects comes with one challenge. Like if in future you wanted to cache your result based on the order or the sequence in which user
mm.
have basically applied, you lose that. Do you agree?
Yeah, then we
Does not have anything a sequential
right.
indexing kind of a thing.
Right. We can use a map to maintain the order if we want to. It my map maintains insertion order, I guess,
Mhm.
at least in
Awesome.
JavaScript.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So let's use the map. Let's use the set as you mentioned, and let's code it and make it better in terms of complexity. Let's go ahead.
All right. Let's say const excludes is equal to new map. Okay, excludes. I'm always misspelling it. Excludes dot uh, set color will be a new set, and excludes dot set. Do you want all the types or just both of them are fine?
Uh,
I mean, all the properties, or do you want other
okay.
properties
So the
also?
thing is, it can be any property, right? So right now you are considering
Uh,
as in hard coded. What if I say there are more properties tomorrow? So the solution that you are
okay.
working is not going to extend, right?
Okay, let's do this. So let's get the properties first. Let's say props is equal to
So I will highly
item.
recommend to write it inside the exclude items. You can comment that out the code that is written, and you can write your own better code. So yeah, so that we can
Oh, right
use
here.
the same function and see the outcome. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Excludes new map. You want to get all the properties. Okay. Props. You have given items. Items of 0. Will give you an object, and we want properties of each object. I think we can say object dot keys, and Oh, this is constant. And we can do props dot for each, and we have prop, and all we want to do is initialize a new set over here. Okay, you are pass. Okay, you want me to use the same exclude array and you want me to transform it, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Mm, all right. Uh, let's do this. Uh, excludes dot set of property comma new set. Now let us iterate on the excludes array. Uh, excludes dot for each. I think you have an object there. Uh, let's say that as pair. Hmm. Excludes of pair dot the key. So in the current color, we want to add the silver to it. So
Mhm.
we just do that. Insert is it? I don't know what's the function is, whether it is add or insert. Uh,
Add.
okay. Uh, what I'm going to add the value. So pair dot v. Right. I think we can do this in the same thing as well. But
We are using two loops
yeah,
over here, right? Let's try to
yeah.
like as you mentioned,
Mm,
right? It can be done a single iteration.
mm.
Why not?
So let's say if uh, excludes dot has pair dot key. If that key is present, then we can just directly go ahead and add there. Okay, let me paste this first. And if not, we need to initialize a new set. Oh, sorry. So first we do initialize it if excludes dot has pair dot key. Let's put a not here.
Mhm.
If the key is not there, we just need to initialize the set first, then only we can add it to it.
Mhm.
And then we say excludes of pay dot key dot pay dot b. Yeah, I think this seems good enough. Uh,
Okay, that does
all
your
right.
part.
Right. Okay. The next part is to exclude the items. So we can say items dot filter. Uh, okay, let us use the filter first because I'm not very much comfortable with the filter, reduce, and all those methods. I think if we want to do that, we can then just refactor to it. Let me just use simple loops for now. Okay.
Sure.
Uh, we want to go through each and every item. So const item of items. Now we need to check at each and every property of items like color, type, age. We don't know how many properties are there.
Mhm.
We cannot hard code it with color, type, age. We'll get the properties and each and every item, and then we will iterate over that.
Mhm.
Does it seem fine? Right. So const properties is equal to object dot, I think it's capital O, right? Object dot keys, and we get the keys of every item, and we will go through each and every prop of props.
Oh, do you really wanted to go into each and every props? Just double think.
Mhm. Okay.
You could. I'm just popping up loud. Like if needed, we can escape. Needed, then in exactly what scenario it will be needed, and if I could have simplified problem, you don't need this.
I mean, if you have only three properties, we can check identity, color, type, and age. Just three lines will be sufficient.
Sounds good. I think fair enough. Go
Yeah.
ahead. So it is dynamic, and you have to consider that.
Hmm, fine. Okay.
Oh, consider what you are doing. What I meant by. So it is.
Okay. Okay.
Keep
Sorry.
going.
Yeah. Got it. I got it. Okay. Now we need to check whether this color is having this red or not, as we talked earlier, right? And we say if excludes dot has the following property, uh, then we see, oh, we can do an and here directly, and excludes of property uh, dot has uh, items item of property. Yeah. Okay. Might be confusing. I'll quickly give you a glance.
Mm-hmm.
So we are iterating through each and every property.
Mm-hmm.
So color red, type TV, and age 18, right? So we want to get the excludes set of color first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm checking whether that color is there in our excludes or not. If it is there, we need to check in that color,
Mm-hmm.
red is there or not.
Mm-hmm.
So in that color set, now we are checking whether that value, the red, is there or not. If uh, it is there, we need to exclude it. If it is not there, we can include this object, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we need to do this for everything. So I'll just do const uh, is include is equal to true. I want to include it first.
Mm-hmm.
But if some property is in the set, I mean, if the red color is in set, so I don't want this item in my end result. I can just do is include is equal to false, and we can directly break out from here, because we already know that you don't want to include this. Why do we need to check for other properties, right?
Okay.
And we define it const. I think it should be let because we're changing it. And once this is completed, if oh, is include, we will add this item to our entire answer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Const new items is equal to array first, and we'll say new items dot add or push, yeah, with uh, the current item, and at the end we can return new items. Yep, I think this is it.
Okay. So what is the complexity of this?
Right. Okay. So we get the complexity of items into how many ever properties we have, that many properties. Here we have three properties, so it will be items into three.
Uh-huh.
But that, if that is something dynamic, yeah, then we need to calculate uh, we need to get the proper length, like the maximum length.
Okay.
For example, if you take any shopping kind of website, maybe how many filters can we have? Maybe 30, 40,
Mm-hmm.
even like at least, yeah, I think 30, 40 is a good number as per my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be total number of items into 30 or into 40. I think that is not that much complicated than whatever we had earlier, because it is, so if you have color silver, then you have again color red. Again, you have color blue. You'll have multiple combinations for each key value pair here.
Mhm.
And we are reducing that combinations into a single row kind of thing, single key
So
here.
basically, you are saying the data set that you have, which is the all items, that is going to be
Hmm.
considered in both the scenarios. The other factor
Yes,
is the multiplication factor is not going to be
right,
dependent on the number of properties that need
right,
to be excluded, the number of
right.
user selected properties instead of what all
Yes.
different type
What
of
what all
categories you
we
can
have?
select
Yeah,
it, right? So
yeah.
example, if we select hundreds of colors, so because
Right.
color is just one property, so it's a multiplication factor of one,
It's
not the hundreds.
yes.
So
Yeah.
most
But
of the
if
time people,
user is
yeah.
yeah, if the user is selecting like let's say 10 colors,
Hmm.
so for every property we have 10 different things. So that will be like 40 into 10 or 40 into like let's say if you have like 50 different combinations, so 40 into 50. So that multiplying factor is reduced with our code is what I feel.
Cool. So I think I want to bring this a very important note to whoever is watching. Sometimes we feel like there is a loop inside a loop, then complexity is almost same. You have to understand when you are doing this O like n into m, what is your n and m? It is not about if you
Right.
have just two loops inside, your complexity is going to be n square and you can be blend on that,
Right.
right? So
Yeah, we should understand the data.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cool. So there is one more important thing I wanted to highlight. So if we see it's not exactly the same, but somewhere when we try to do the indexing in the databases as well, right? So everything that we index comes with a cost. So over here, what is the indexing parameter is the categories of your excludes basically that we are basically going to make a part of your exclude types. Like in this case, color and type are two indexing that we are trying to do, if you notice, right?
Hmm.
The more
Hmm.
the indexing that you can do, you bring that brings a complexity. So the as it
Right.
reduces, you see the similar kind of thing is done in databases. Awesome, cool.
Hmm.
So let's move on to the next interesting problem. So given this object, I want you to implement a method which is called example get. You can say get key is your method in this particular case. That also works.
Okay.
So you have an object that's a nested object. You can have any like a b c, those are nested depth. What we are saying, hey, can you help me to read a dot b dot c, that will give you an object. If I try to write a dot b dot c and I try to read some array indexes basically in that particular path, it is able to read it and give you one. Similarly, if you notice, I can give in the other format also dot notation or the you can say simple square bracket notation, that will also work. And if you try to notice, if I give a splitted array to this particular second argument, which is a, then b, then c, and then probably the respective index, this also basically works. So
Hmm.
yeah, this is something that we are going to implement.
Right.
So you might have seen some libraries which helps you to basically navigate through the nested object easily and finds helps you to get the outcome. So something similar
Right.
we are going to implement.
Yeah. Um, Seems challenging at the first sight, but I think there should be some kind of simple way
Yeah,
to do this.
maybe I will. If you wanted to get started with one variations, I'm okay. Okay. Example, if you wanted to go with just dot notation instead of an array consideration, I'm okay. Right. So because there are different variations of input, so you can start with one. We can extend to other if needed.
Hmm. Okay. Mm, okay. So let us do this. Let us start with a simple function first.
Mhm.
So get key, and we are giving an object. And for now, I'm considering a string. Then we can add a wrapper around it to handle arrays also.
Sounds good.
That will be
Yeah.
simpler. Yeah. Uh, what do we call this? Let's say this is path. Okay. Uh, okay, we can split by dots. In that way, we get each and every property. Uh, Obviously, there would be edge cases.
Mhm.
Uh, but we will. Okay. Okay, what is this one? Like if the property is not there, we need to add the property, is it? Okay, so let's
So
also
it will
say
return as it is. What I meant by it will return the value that you are basically passing in the argument. Like
okay,
whatever key you
fine.
pass, you will get the same key.
Okay. Uh
Like
value
you asked me
object.
to find a path and give the outcome of that. I couldn't find any path. I return you the same input back.
Hmm. Yeah, got it. Okay, let's start simple as we thought. Let's just split it by dot and get each and every property,
Mhm.
and then we see what kind of edge cases we need to handle on top of that, right? Okay, so let's just say const properties will be path dot split by a dot. So it will give you an array of properties, and
Mhm.
we can say const current object is equal to the object itself, and let us iterate on each and every property for const prop of props. So we need to uh, dig deeper, right? So current object will be is equal to current object of the property. Before that, we need to check whether the property is there or not. If current object dot I think has doesn't work in this. Okay, let's do this. Prop equal. Okay, instead of undefined, we can just and not. In this case, we can just return the value if not present, or else at the end, we return the uh, current object. I guess that should be good enough. Let us understand dry run and this, and let's see whether it is working fine or not. If it is not working fine, and we'll see why it is not working, and then make fixes on that, right?
Sounds good. We can try that.
Yeah, we'll start with very simple a dot b dot c example. I'll paste this here. Let me also get this object here so that you can see it. Oh, control c, control v. Okay. So now what we are doing is we are getting all the properties split by a dot. So we just get an array of A, B, and C like this. Now we are iterating to each and every property and we are digging. So currently, current object is this itself. I mean, the given one.
Yeah.
This is the current object, right? Now when we say current object of A, so now our current object becomes this, right? Now, when we go to this property, again, we are saying on top of current object, we are applying the property. So this is gone. We are just left it with this one. And
Mm-hmm.
now when we apply C, uh, obviously this is gone. You are only just left with this 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
So 1, 2, 3 will be the output when we are returning it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now let us think about the second one. How are we gonna apply dot zero?
Mm-hmm.
So now in this array, we got 0. And now as we are saying not current object of property, of 0. Of 0 is, oh yeah, of 0 would work fine because it is an array. 0 will be there. Yeah, I think this also works.
Okay. Double check on one thing. What is the type of zero?
Uh, okay, that's a string. Maybe
That's
we can
something
convert it,
like can you so because if we understand correctly, there's that it works on indexes and indexes are
right?
numbers,
Numbers.
right?
Hmm.
So anything over there which we can work, or out of box JavaScript will take care of that, because JavaScript has a lot of hidden gems, right?
Yeah, that is what I'm thinking. JavaScript should take care, but I'm not sure about that. Uh, whether it will take care or not.
It
But
will do a
to be
auto
cost,
type correction. It will do automatically type correction and it will work for you. Okay, so
yeah,
this case can be handled using this. What about the next case?
yeah, that is what I'm about to see. Okay, then this will have something like this. Of one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. How do we handle this? Yeah, we can do some manipulations here and there and all, but I'm thinking something simpler.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can do the manipulations if, but you don't know the length of the key. It can be uh, X, Y, Z also instead of just simply C. So you don't you. I mean, what I was thinking is, I wanted to extract exactly this index. So 0, 1, 2. Yeah. So this string of two will give you this one, and we can.
Anything, it can be anywhere. So wanted to
Yeah, that is
highlight that this
right.
thing that you have written could be in B as well. Like
Right.
it can be array of object where you are going into the first object and then
Right.
inside that object you are going to
Right.
interpret, right?
Right.
So just be mindful of that.
Okay. Seven, and you get b of 1. Okay. Can you have the key like this also? Like, I mean, X, Y, Z, some, let's say 12. This is also a possible thing, right?
Yeah, key can be anything, right? We have ABC is the simplest version.
Yeah,
So
simplest. Yeah.
yeah, it key can be type, color, as we discussed a lot of other things, right? It can be damn anything.
Okay. Then in this case, I think I need to find the first square bracket and the last square bracket and extract the number in between them.
Let me make your life difficult.
Okay.
Okay. So the one which you're mentioning, what if I have something like this as well? So what I meant by the data that you see scroll to the top.
Hmm.
What if the data that you see could have this as well? So if you notice what we are doing, I wanted to extract one, then it will be a dot b dot c dot 0 dot 0,
Hmm.
or probably in terms of square bracket, it will be uh, 0 dot 0 like this, right? It will give you one. Or to replicate the exact two, uh, maybe if I make it this, so now it will give the two. You're getting my point?
Okay, I think I don't want it to go it that way, but I had to go it that way only. I think we can use recursion only here because they can be as deeply nested as possible,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, so, okay, so then if it is recursion, uh, how do we do it? I mean, there can be any number of things, so and so, right?
Like, how
Yeah.
recursion is going to solve your problem?
Uh, so I mean, if you get this property and this will be your next path from that object, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so then we can call the same function to get the to go it go deep to go deep and further.
I
Yeah.
can, you can do always those things. What if I try to simplify your life? What if I say somehow you could convert this guy into this? My bad. Will that solve your
Oh,
problem?
right. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, good way to think. Uh, but how do we convert it is the question, right? I mean, we can just keep on looking at the square brackets and then keep on making this one. I
Mhm.
think that is a way. Uh, so do we do that? For example, let's say you are going to each and every property, and at every property, I'll just look at the starting square bracket and ending square bracket,
Mhm.
and I'll get the number in between, and I'll just insert into the properties array.
Which you can always do, like finding something based on that, you still perform some activity, lot of those
Mm-mm.
stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
What if I say I can, like, you can make your life even simpler by using something in JavaScript. So, like,
Using something like JavaScript. Okay.
you could have what you're mentioning basically. Hey, can I use this starting square bracket in order to split and
Mm.
basically iterate and then perform some activity, right?
Yes. Yes. Something like that. Yeah.
Can't you use something? Ultimately, what you wanted to convert this into this. That's what the problem statement is. Can we
Yes. Yes.
can we use, or if I make your life even further, let me break this problem for you.
Okay.
Let's see
Okay.
if we can come to the common conclusion. So ultimately,
I mean, okay, you don't please tell me. I think I figured it out.
yes,
We just replace the square bracket with a dot. I think that works.
awesome, perfect.
Yeah.
So it's a baby step as you mentioned. So
Yeah.
exactly what you said. If you go from here
Hmm.
to here, where instead of this square bracket, you have
Hmm.
these dots basically in between, right?
Right.
And
Hmm.
then
Right.
the game is in your in hand, right?
Right. Right.
Let's do that.
Okay. So first, let us uh, go through the path. Mm. Let's say let a new path. Let's say it's an empty string first. Let's say const. It's a character of path.
Mhm.
I think we can do this, right? And I think we can write it on string like this. Yeah, I think yeah, it should be fine. If this character is equal to uh what was it? Yeah, open square bracket or uh close it square bracket. In this case, we just I think there are string functions, but I'm just writing my own
I get
code.
it. I get
Uh,
it. So you're trying to basically start and end, and then basically try to get the characters in between and do a lot of those stuff. I can. So you can
yeah,
definitely do that. I get what you're doing to just
we
make.
can just say path dot replace
Yes.
yeah with a dot, and this will be, let's say,
Difficult to remember the. Okay, so you can do that.
yeah,
I can help you on one thing probably because it's difficult to remember the regex. To be very frank, you can use this regex.
yeah. Okay, cool.
So I get what you're trying to do. Generally, if you have to do actually in production, you will be using some regex to make your life easy, isn't it?
Right, right, right.
Now the thing is, it's not just dot. Now you have to basically take it ahead. What do you want? You are going to replace this square brackets and the content with what?
Uh,
Dot. So in this case, you have a square bracket 12 or 0. It should replace by dot.
and that whatever that in between thing is there,
How
right?
do you get in between thing in replace function?
Uh, I'm really not sure about that.
No worries.
Uh,
So basically, you have
yeah.
$1 to get the dynamic value out of this.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm
No
not
worries.
aware of
It's
this.
just a
Yeah,
syntactical thing. Hence I help you.
yeah,
Take it forward. Now you have it. What do you do?
yeah. We can just say path is equal to place. Uh, yeah, I think that is it, right? Once these are replaced, there will not be any issues.
Oh,
Uh,
do
let's okay. Let me recheck. Yeah, let's say this one. Okay, let's take this one as we. Okay, so we are just replacing everything with a dot thing. So ideally, I think as you mentioned, this should be converted to uh, dot one dot zero, right? It is what I'm expecting the regex to be doing it for me, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
then yeah, now let me take the entire object once again and let me place it here. Right. Uh, Now we are at A, so our current object becomes simply this B, and at B, current object becomes C, and when we extract C, you are just remained with this array. On that, you're doing off one, that means this array, and on this, you are doing off zero, that means this two. Yeah, it should work fine.
Okay, awesome. Uh, we can execute this and let's see if these outcomes are fulfilled. I think there is one few cases, small cases left. If you wanted to handle, let's handle that. Like before you execute this particular, there are few more test cases which are pending.
Okay, you mean
Yeah.
okay, these okay. Yeah. So we can just say function uh, get key. Let's take the same things.
Oh, why you wanted to make another function?
I mean, if it is an array, I will just join it by a dot and just
We can
call
write
this function.
conditions in the same function, isn't it?
Right, but yeah, I wanted to yeah, as per your choice. Yeah, right. If uh, array dot is array path, you can say path is equal to path dot join by a dot.
Sometimes we make our life more complicated ourselves, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe I thought like we'll be writing a generic function and this will be like a helper function for us. Yeah, but
Yeah.
we
So
can.
in that code that you have written, I think you have made your life difficult.
Mm,
See,
yeah, in a sense.
try
Yeah.
to double check. So what
Mm,
you're trying to do, if it is an array,
mm.
then what do you do? Join it
We just convert it to a string and then call this helper function.
and join it,
Mm.
then again convert into array and then perform the activity. Are
Uh,
you doing this?
right, correct. Yeah, yes, yeah. It's kind of redoing the
Okay.
things.
So now,
Yeah.
if you could have think it in the other way around,
Mhm.
which is if it is a string, then do what you are doing.
Right, right.
Else, just try to refactor. I
Mm.
think your logic, the logic that you have written can be simplified. The complexity can be simplified.
Hmm.
Just give a thought.
Right. So it's a, I mean, we want to handle uh, the arrays.
So
Hmm. Got it.
exactly your
Yeah.
definition on the array from which line basically it starts.
Okay. We just say not. If it is not an array, we just want to convert it to an array, right? I mean, we want to convert this to uh,
Mhm.
A, B.
So, which is if it is a string, then you perform the thing that you are doing. If not,
Right.
go ahead.
Right. If not, yeah. Okay. So if it is not an array, if the path is not an array, we just wanted to convert uh, into an array,
Mhm.
right? Okay, let's do that. Okay, first we replace any things with dots. Uh,
Then what?
and I'm just thinking like how exactly to convert it. I mean, I can write loops, but if there
You
is
have
any
already written. You have already written. That's what I'm pointing it out. So help me
uh,
out. You are iterating on a array somewhere, right? And what is where you are storing your array which you are
oh,
iterating?
okay, I understood your point. Okay. Uh, we can do this. Path is equal to hmm, right. So if this path is a string, as you mentioned, if it is not an array, if it is a string,
Mhm.
we just convert into an array.
Mhm.
If it is an array, we do not do anything. We just use it as it is.
Your life is sorted, isn't it?
Right. Hmm.
So great. So we have just the last condition. Let's try.
So yeah.
Okay.
So the thing is, as you see too many strings here and a single array, so your mind thinks to start in that direction first, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We will handle the strings, not the arrays. Like let's say if you have given me more arrays here and one string, then I would have thought with arrays first and then string next.
So
Yeah,
there's always
that's
a reason. How do you put
yeah,
your problem statement as well, right? So the
right,
order in which I have put the problem statement is because of that particular reason. And
right,
reason why I asked to handle the first string is exactly the same because if you have solved the array, then you would have solved a string very easily, right? The other way around.
right, right. Yeah.
Awesome. So the last, I think, last is the simplest thing. Let's try to handle the
Hmm.
last scenario.
Okay. Uh,
Line 13 is the last test case. I think that is what you need to handle.
we already handled that here, right?
Oh, return value is
If
not.
that, yeah,
Oh,
right,
you are taking. I get it. I get it. So basically,
yeah,
there's a difference. So it's the second argument, not the third. If you notice. Oh, my bad. It's a
it's a
default one.
third.
Perfect. Perfect. So you are taking the
Okay,
default and you have already handled in that. I get it.
all
Awesome.
right.
I think. Yep. This was interesting solution. I definitely wanted to ask you a lot of things on top of it, but just because of the time limitation, I'm taking it over here. And
Okay, no problem.
great. So before I give the feedback to Anurag, maybe whoever is watching it, I would love to hear from you basically how Anurag basically performed. If you have to implement these things, what would be your solution? And anything that you feel, hey, these are the scenarios which are missed, probably, I would love to see your solutions basically. Perfect. So with that, what's your thought, guys? Should we select Anurag or should we reject Anurag? I think most likely your opinion will be like mine, but let's see what's it going to be. Okay, let me quickly jump into the feedback and wrap. So overall, one thing which I loved over the period of time, one, you are very vocal in terms of your thought process and how you are proceeding towards the thing. Second thing which I love, which is when you're actually trying to navigate the things, you are also trying to do the dry run with the solution that you came up. The other thing which I loved was around like, hey, the complexity picture will come into the thing, the way I'm solving, is it the right way? Shall I break it into the other function and probably try to do that, like the generic function you're trying to do in the second problem statement also. So those are some definitely good point. One thing I will highly recommend over here, which could be probably improved. So JavaScript, you can say functions, the inbuilt functions which we have, right?
Right,
Higher order functions. That brings lot of cleaner code and it actually helps you to provide the out of box, you can say, performance when it executes internally with
right,
a higher or large data set. So I will recommend to use more and more the declarative way of coding instead of the imperative. It comes with lot of
mm,
performance and the code clean, you can say, kind of a stuff basically. So that is the
right,
only major thing. And rest, I think you were able to pick the hints. You are able to take in the direction where I want you to basically get into. That's a good thing. And one thing which I wanted to highlight to everyone, from the first cut, it seems like, hey boss, the problem statement is very challenging. I don't know how this is going to handle, right? You feel everything like recursion will come into the picture, this and that, everything basically pops to your mind. But when you break your problem statement into simple thing, you see you have a different outcome altogether. Great. So with that, Anurag, how was your experience overall?
Yeah, it was quite good. Very interesting problems. Even the first one and the second one. The first one had maps and sets involved, optimizing the performance, thinking it from a user point of view, like how many combinations of keys and values are there. It's uh, like people think that there is no need of data structures and algorithms or any kind of coding knowledge while doing front end, like just learning JavaScript will be sufficient enough. But end of the day, it is problem solving whatever the language it is. And even if you like the first one is, I think it's a quite real life scenario that one might face while working in a job, especially in a job where uh, e-commerce systems or any other websites where filters are involved. uh, Coming to the second one, it's a trick question, I would say. uh, I mean, like converting that bracket to a dot. Yeah, it's quite simpler. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you're solving that independently, that idea might strike. But in an interview scenario, it's always different. There are a lot of things that are coming to in your mind. So I already told you that I don't want to use recursion, but I think there is no way around it. I have to use recursion, but you came up with you break it the problem. Once you break the problem, I can see, oh yeah, this can be turned into a simple dot and then can be solved. Yeah, as you said, definitely. Yeah, I'm a bit uh, backwards in kind of using JavaScript inbuilt functionality. Yeah, so what do I do is, in generally, I just coded it my way, and then I see the syntaxes of other like JavaScript functionalities, and then try to convert it. That is generally how I do. But in an interview scenario, you don't get that time because yeah. So I think if you are in a JavaScript interview, then you should practice doing that functional programming very much. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they
was
rightly said. I just wanted to bring 2 points. People who say problem solving is not required for front end developer, dude, we solve something which is there in the front end, right? So don't come
right.
back to me and say that we don't use do the problem solving and I can't because I'm a front end developer. Sorry. The second thing I wanted to highlight, the second problem that you used, basically we
Hmm.
implemented. This is
Hmm.
another one of the real world scenario. I will help you out. This
Okay.
is one of the most popular used function from a Lodash library. So Lodash
Oh,
basically has something called underscore dot set or get probably, and which does exactly
okay.
same. Now let me help you with a real world example where such things are basically used. So all the applications which are implemented, like we have Flipkart, we have all those which have server rendered, you can say server side UI. So those are
Hmm.
driven on configurations. So
Hmm.
every outcome, the entire website actually renders based on configuration. So sometimes
Hmm.
when you have to do a lookup and you have to update some things, so it's very easy to basically simplify those things in form of string, which gives locate makes a locator, and then you set the value or a component that
Okay.
need to be rendered or something that need to be rendered or rendered. So that way, targeting anything in a configurable object and basically
Hmm.
setting and getting something makes your life much easier, and hence this is one of thing which is used, although not like A dot B dot C. It's much more in the actual your
Yeah.
config used. But
Yeah.
yes, this is way powerful and way useful. Great. I think you did justice, and I hope you will find a solutions way to use these methods. Great.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, Anurag, once again for chiming in. And yeah, I hope people will love it. People will spread this. And thanks everyone for watching this. I would love to see your solutions and your feedback. Keep watching Chuck the Front End Interviews. And if you wanted to be a part of it, just let me know in the comment. I will be happy to host you. With that, thanks a lot. Bye bye.